Okay, so they might give you a question where you have to simplify your fractions, simplify a fraction that contains an expression. Okay, so in the example I've just done here, so they'll write simplify or factorize or whatever. Okay, so simplify this equation. So just grab a pen. So on your top line, you have an x squared, an x, and a number. So you know straight away that you're going to open your brackets to factorize that. On the bottom line, you have an x squared, x, and a number again. So again, you know you're going to open your brackets. Okay, so the other things that it could be that you have to take out something common, or you have to do the difference 2 squared. And but because we have an x squared, x, and a number in both of these, we know that we're opening our brackets for both. So what we'll do is we'll work on the top line first. So we'll open up our brackets. Again, this is one that has a 2 in front of the x squared, so we'll have 2x and x. And then our factors are going to be 2 and 1, because our factors of 2 is just 2 and 1. We don't have any other factors. So we might have to play around with it for a while. So we'll check we're right. So I'm just going to take out this little line for a second, just to see that we can make sure we're doing it right. So we know that we want to end up with plus 5x. We know that this sign here means that both signs are going to be the same. So inside will give us 2x, 2 by x, and the outside by the outside will give us 2x. Okay, so that would never give us 5x, because 2 and 2, or 2 minus 2, or minus 2 minus 2, none of them could ever give us 5x. So we're going to change this one, and we put our 1 here now and our 2 here, and see, does that make a difference? So inside would be 1x, outside would be 2 by 2x, which would be 4x. Our signs have to be the same to give us plus 5x. So what signs could give us plus 5x? So we know plus 1 plus 4 could give us plus 5. So therefore, there are signs for the top line. Right. So if you just want to write it as a top line, or it doesn't matter, that's our top line. So we'll start working on our bottom line. So again, it's a quadratic trinomial, so it has an x squared, x, and number, meaning we open our brackets. And again, there's a number in front of the x squared, so we have to get the factors of this number. So 2x squared would be 2x and x. We get the factors of 3 this time, because 3 is your last number. So 1 by 3 is your only factors. There will be questions where you get much longer, or much more factors, like if you have 8, it could be 1 by 8 or 2 by 4 and whatever. Okay, so we'll have to play around with this as well. So we put 1 in here and 3 in here to start. So we know that we're working for minus 5x this time. And interestingly, see the way this is a minus here, our signs are going to be different. So that'll help us. So we'll just work this out. So that inside give us 1x, outside give us 6x, and we're looking for minus 5x. We know that the signs must be different, so could either of these give us a minus 5x? So if we had a plus 1 minus 6x, that would give us minus 5x. So we know the 1 is a plus, and the number that makes a 6 is a minus. So we work them out. Right, so we'll just rewrite that without all the inside bit, because that's really just rough work, but it is important we do it at the same time to make sure we're right. So 2x plus 1 on x plus 2 over 2x plus 1 on x minus 3. And it's asked us to simplify this, so is there anything that can cancel that's common? Well, there's 2x plus 1 on that line, and there's 2x plus 1 on that line. Therefore, we're left with x plus 2 as x over x minus 3, and that's as simple as we can break it down. So that's simplifying a fraction that contains an expression. I'm just going to do one more example of this, because if it did happen that there was another type, so I'll just write it really quickly. So example 2, just write, what if they gave us x squared minus 16 all over x squared minus 4x, and they asked us to simplify that. Okay, so you need to look at the top line, right? What can I do with that top line? Is there anything in common? No. Can I open my brackets? No, because there's no x. So what's my other option? So difference of 2 squared. So I have to find the square root of both items, and add them in one bracket and subtract them in the other. So I'll pick the x squared first. So the square root of x squared is going to be x. We add them in one bracket and subtract them in the other. The square root of 16 is 4, so it's going to be x plus 4 on x minus 4. So that's your top line done. Then the bottom line. Okay, so can I do difference 2 squared on the bottom line? So I could get the square root of the x squared, but I couldn't get the x squared, or the square root of 4x. I could get the square root of 4, right, but you can't get the square root of x. It must be x squared. Therefore, I can't do that. I can't do difference 2 squared. Can I open my brackets? Do I have an x squared? Yes. Do I have an x? Yes. Do I have a number? No. Therefore, I can't do that. So my last option is to take out what's common. So what's common between x squared and minus 4x? So x is common, therefore it goes outside the bracket. So x into x squared goes x times, and x into minus 4x goes minus 4 times. So we've simplified it, but can we make it any simpler, I suppose? So is there anything in common that can cancel? Well, yeah, there's an x minus 4 on both lines. So that will leave us x plus 4 all over x. And that's how you simplify fractions that contain expressions.